YouTube, what is good? Today, I'm going to show you some cool sound design techniques and show you to make cool basses like this. And even can change it to a higher tone like this. It's honestly all because of a new sound design toy we got from Kilohertz. And let me show you what I'm talking about. That's Filtertable. So as you guys know, Kilohertz made Convolver, which really changed how impulse responses were used in dubstep. And if you're not sure what an impulse response is, don't worry, I'm not going to leave you in the dust. Pretty much what an impulse response is taking the tone of one sound and then putting that into your current sound. So you would have like a noisy dubstep bass, and then you could add in a tonal growl or a snare or something transient and put it into that sound, and you'd get this really cool new sound. Now the problem with that is it would take one frame. It would just take the sound for the audio shape it is. Think of it as resampling in your DAW, or whenever you're exporting the audio, it would take that, and that's what it would go off of. But this is where Kilohertz really crushed it, because they said, what if we can do that, but we also add crazy filtering? And what if your impulse response is a wavetable? So if you think of a wavetable like Serum, as they're scrolling through, right? And that's what it does with sounds. And they have their own library. Plus you can drag and drop any sound in, just like Convolver, and get crazy sounds, and your impulse response can evolve over time. And I'm going to show you some really cool sound design tricks on how to achieve this. If you're already subscribe to Kilohertz, you get this for free. If you've already bought the bundle, I think you have to go back and buy it. That's what I did. It's $40 USD, and you can also get a trial. So go ahead and give it a try before you buy. I sound like a salesperson here, but I'm so excited because this is such a cool sound designer's tool. This whole rack, which created the sound I showed you at the beginning, and I'm going to be giving it away on my Patreon, which I'm officially dropping today, which I've said I was going to do forever. So by the time you guys see this post, I'll probably already have 5 or 6 posts in here of content already available for you guys. And I just want to give you a quick walkthrough of what to expect on my Patreon. If you don't care about Patreon or getting this stuff, you can skip right ahead. But a lot of people have been asking. So my basic tier is going to be Gymrat. It's $15 a month. There is a code going on right now till the end of the month. Whey BF. I'm popping it up on screen. Whey BF. Because we're best friends, right? So you're going to get exclusive sound design tutorials, racks, sample packs, project files. You're going to get original tracks, my edits, and you're going to get exclusive access in Patreon for my once-a-month streams, which I'm going to move to Patreon, so I'm able to actually concentrate and give you guys. That's going to give you everything in the first tier. The second tier is limited to only 4 people. It's called Roid Rager. This is for only the people that really want to level up and they really want to improve and they're willing to put the work in. What to expect from me as far as keeping up with Patreon? Well, it's something I thought about for a long time, and I'm going to be giving you guys a new piece of content once a week. So you can expect 4 pieces of content a month, and I'm actually going to front load it a lot more. So the first few months, you're probably going to get like 5 or 6 items, to be honest. All right, so let's get into the sound and let's talk about Filtertable and how it's so cool. So I've been playing this with different basses. I can show you this one without multipass. Same thing with my sustain here. We'll do it without multipass in my processing. Multipass. And then this last one's just kind of a fun one as well without multipass. It's so cool. So let's break this down. Serum, I want to do a very basic patch. So you can see this is just saw waves going through a band notch, messing with FM, and it has a sustain kind of ramp. And then in effects, we have distortion, a little bit of combs, which is all for filtering, so this doesn't come native, and distortion. So super easy. I wanted it to be super easy. And now we're actually going to go into multipass. And I'm about to drop a ton of sound design little treats here, and why multipass is the future for dubstep in sound design, in my opinion. And for those that don't know multipass, let me teach you it real quick. You have your pre-effects distortion, which means the input sound, everything's going to get affected by that. So everything from Serum is going to get affected by this distortion, and that's all that is relevant right here. Now you have multi-band processing, and this is goated because you can just slide this around and you can have up to 4 bands. So generally what I would do is have my low end not affected, and then we would affect the higher end. Now for this sound, it sounded better having it right here, but you pretty much can have 5 bands and do whatever you want. Post effects is taking everything from the pre-effects, putting it into the multiband processing, and out from the multiband processing, everything's going to get affected. So we just have NASCO's OTT, a very aggressive shaper. It's kind of like a really distortion, and then another OTT at the end, just kind of fattening everything. Okay, so one more thing we need to know, and then we can get into Filtertable. But you need to understand the setup because it is important for this video. Audio follower, which is goated, and I'm so glad that Kilohertz has this. Audio follower pretty much follows the amplitude of a sound. So think of it as whenever you put an LFO on the level of a sound, it goes whomp, whomp. It's following that whomp, the amplitude when the sound comes in. For example, and you can gain for how much when it happens. Another cool thing is playing with your release and attack, get different variations. So play with this how you want, but this is how I like to automate sound, so I don't have to like recreate the LFO shape that's in Serum. It's just gonna follow the sound and I can have fun with it. It's pretty simple, and Filtertable is doing it all. And this is the fun part of this. So let me just drag in a Filtertable and show you guys what we're doing here. Filtertable is kind of early in our chain here because I wanted to do its effects and then be affected by everything else. So we're gonna drop a new one in here. They already have cool stuff. Not everything sounds great, to be honest, but let's try formants and just see. So what we can do is we can play with the table spot. So we can play with the cutoff. Same with resonances. And the mix. And it's like, well, what if we just automate this even cooler? More movement in our basses. And we can also move it. Something that we want, say like a snare, and drag it in. And now it's going to take the profile of a snare, kind of how Serum does its editor. I'm not going to pretend to know everything in this, but it's pretty much doing what Serum does with its wavetables. It's generating it, and now and let's actually get rid of our modulation real quick. You can see all the cool results we're going to get out of this. So let's just tuck this guy down. And now you can even combine it with Convolver. You find something cool with it. Let's make the release a little bit longer. Just Convolver and Filtertable alone can really level up your basses. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys as well what we can create with variety here. So it comes to the macros here. If you know Serum, you can actually pop out the bottom here, and then if you hit configure and then hit your macros or whatever button you want, you can configure different things. And so I can configure my macros with my macro filters here. So I can turn my sync up, say this knob. I can go negative FM. I can turn on the combs that I talked about earlier. We can even do like a classic company vibrato. And then as well in this, you are going to have more multi-band OTT in your final clipper, which is G clip, just for how loud you want it. I think Multipass, audio follower, and as well Filtertable, Convolver is going to be the future of insane sound design. And I can't wait to see what you guys create. Also, if you guys are joining the Patreon, deeply appreciate it. Come give me a shout out in Discord when you guys do. And I'm looking forward to creating more content for you guys. So peace. I hope you liked the video. I'll talk to you later.